Coming from the book of law that so many believe to be the word of God. Matthew 22:36. Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in law? And Jesus replies, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all of your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. I say unto you, we are all God. And if you hold these laws, the most important, according to the teachings right out of Jesus' mouth, the most important thing for you to do is to love God. If you truly love God and you truly love those around you, God, nothing else is important. It's all just our creation. If we all treat ourselves like God and we all treat each other like God, then we'd be living in a whole nother world. Our words are magic. Our words are spells. And we can use our words to cast spells at people and to put black magic on them, or we can use them to lift each other up and spread love and unity. A lot of people used words to cast spells. A lot of people use words to cast spells on the news that you watch, on the TV programs that you watch, on the books that you read. The books that we only used to be allowed to read, such as the Bible. Many of you don't remember that because you were not alive. But that trauma still exists, and we were forced into what is now our modern religion. We are under spells. But at this point, you now have the right and the ability to safely remove these spells from yourself without fear of death. Back in the day, you couldn't stand up against the church and the religious leaders and say that they were wrong. You couldn't even let on that you had a strong intuition or that you worked with the plants and the rocks and the earth and the water and the fire. You couldn't let on any of these things without fear of being tortured or killed for being a witch. But now you can be released from these things. If words are a spell, and all of these words have been used to make you believe and be in fear of a jealous God, may you now be released from these fears. Because this can be heaven or this can be hell. And I lived in hell upon this earth most of my life. But it wasn't until I was released from these spells and started changing the way I spoke, started changing the way I perceived the world. It wasn't until then that I was released from the shackles and allowed to experience heaven on earth and to stop judging other people. Because religion is a trap in which you start believing in separation. You start believing that you're doing things right and other people outside of the religion are doing things wrong. That is just judgment disguised however you want to disguise it. And it only breeds separation and further injustice. The truth is that we are all God and that nobody is right. The truth is that the only way to true unity, peace, and heaven is loving and accepting oneself as the creator of their own reality and all of the other creators that they see outside of them in the same way. These are the teachings of Jesus, right out of the book. We've got all of this just to confuse you. We've got all of this just so that we could have religious leaders that studied for years and years and years that you could look up to. But we don't need that anymore. We don't need anyone to serve us what God is anymore, what spirituality is anymore, because everything is connected to your spirituality. When we know that we are God and that we are creating our reality, everything is our spirituality and everything can be sacred. Being without sin is not speaking, feeling, or acting out in negative ways or in judgment about ourselves or about others, because we are God and everyone else is God. So to be without sin is to live in love and acceptance for ourselves and our neighbors. Thank you for hearing me. I love you.